Is driving an electric vehicle on highways really cheaper? Let's peek at the true costs of driving an EV on long trips. From charging times to hidden expenses, you'll get a clear picture of what it's like to rely on an electric vehicle for your highway journeys. The shift to mass electrification would look quite different, but we've become comfortable with the quick, efficient, and familiar methods of fueling up that we've used for nearly a century. In the early days of EVs, charging infrastructure was almost non-existent, so the first uses of EV technology were in closed environments like factories and industrial complexes. These early deployments included vehicles such as forklifts and transport trucks. The installations were often custom or one-off collections of technologies. When problems arose, the response time was often long due to technical limitations and the challenge of geographic distribution. This meant days between detection and resolution. While these issues were tolerable in closed environments with dedicated maintenance personnel, they were not viable for everyday car drivers. In the early 2000s, EV transportation faced many challenges. The most common were the immaturity of motor drive technology, low battery storage density, and the inefficiency of combined systems. As these core vehicle-related technologies improved, new challenges quickly took their place, such as where to charge when not at home, who provides charging, how much can or should charging cost, and how to ensure drivers aren't stranded between fill-ups. To tackle these challenges, automotive manufacturers have teamed up with a growing ecosystem of technology providers and service partners. Their goal is to solve the fueling side challenges of EV ownership and the operations challenges faced by charging as a business. The nature of EV charging demands that vehicles and fueling infrastructure be connected in a way they never had to be in the petrochemical paradigm. Public charging at a large scale requires a central internet-connected management system. While physical access to charging stations is still important, it's less critical due to remote access for maintenance engineers. They can extract near real-time data analytics and diagnostic data, making internet connectivity and the advancement of software and charging technology essential for EV charging to work as a mass, shared service infrastructure. Most modern EVs can travel over 200 miles on a single charge, which is impressive. However, for those long-haul trips, you'll likely need to recharge your vehicle multiple times. Generally, charging your EV at a commercial charging station will set you back between $10 and $30, depending on the charger level. This makes the cost of an EV road trip comparable to a similar journey in a gas-powered car, but some factors can complicate this calculation. But when it comes time to charge your car, you find yourself facing a series of frustrations. This is the reality for many EV owners in the UK, according to a recent survey. The survey, which polled 1,500 EV and PHEV members, found that 3/4 of respondents were dissatisfied with the current charging infrastructure. So what are the biggest issues? Finding a charger that actually works. Nearly half of those surveyed said they've personally experienced non-working chargers, and a similar number have encountered technical issues while attempting to charge their car. But even if you do manage to find a working charger, there's no guarantee it will be available. Almost half of those surveyed said their nearest public charger was more than a 20-minute walk away, making it a hassle to drop off and pick up your car if you don't have a charger at home. In fact, 1 in 5 respondents who no longer use public chargers said the lack of availability put them off. And it's not just current EV owners who are concerned about the charging infrastructure. In a separate survey of 2,000 car owners, 2 in 5 said the perceived lack of chargers was the top reason they weren't considering buying an electric car. Despite this, a third of those surveyed said they would be considering an electric car within the next 2 years. Payment options are another source of frustration for EV owners. Around 8 in 10 of those who have used public chargers said they wanted to be able to pay using a bank card, but currently only a limited number of charging networks offer this option. Instead, many EV owners are forced to juggle multiple apps and RFID cards. The government extended its planned reliability standard of 99% availability to cover all public chargers, not just rapid chargers found at motorist service stations. They also want consumers to be able to pay for chargers using a single app and to pay with a bank card wherever possible. When it comes to chargers, there are 3 main levels to consider. Level 1 chargers are the slowest, taking up to 24 hours to fully charge your EV. Level 2 chargers provide up to 28 miles of range per hour and typically cost between $1 and $5 per hour. You usually find these chargers at hotels or shopping centers. Lastly, Level 3 chargers, also known as DCFC, are the quickest option. They can charge your EV to nearly full capacity in as little as an hour, with a cost ranging from $10 to $30 per charge. Tesla owners have access to a proprietary network of chargers called superchargers. The cost of using a supercharger varies depending on location and other factors, with an average cost of around $0.25 per kilowatt hour. This means a full recharge to 250 miles of range would cost approximately $22. Thought about how to get the most out of your EV range? It might not be what you're used to when driving a gas-powered car. Let's explore some easy yet effective strategies to help you maximize your EV's range. First, let's talk about speed. You might have heard that steady, high-speed highway driving is the best way to get the most out of a tank of gas, but that's not the case with EVs. Why is that? It's all about how EVs recapture energy. When you're cruising along at high speeds, there's less opportunity for something called regenerative braking. This handy feature sends some energy back to the battery every time you slow down or stop. So if you're doing a lot of high-speed driving, you're missing out on chances to top up your battery. Now let's say you've got some long highway journey ahead of you. You might find that your EV's range is less than what was advertised. That's because high-speed driving can be a real range killer. But don't worry, there's a simple solution. Even if you know the route like the back of your hand, consider using your car's built-in navigation system or an app like Google Maps. These smart tools can plan a route that makes the most of your car's range. They take into account factors like traffic, terrain, and even the location of charging stations, so you can be sure you're taking the most efficient route even if it's not the fastest one. Another way to maximize your EV's range is going to be mindful of your driving style. Smooth and steady acceleration and deceleration can help you get the most out of your battery. Avoiding sudden stops and starts can also help you recapture more energy through regenerative braking. On average, EVs are experiencing 79% more problems than their gasoline-powered counterparts. The situation is even more dire for plug-in hybrids, with a whopping 146% more problems. These issues often stem from charging and battery problems, casting a shadow over the otherwise promising future of EVs. But it's not all doom and gloom. Countries around the world are taking notice and investing heavily in improving battery technology. China, for instance, is planning to pour around $845 million into developing next-generation batteries for EVs. Europe is expected to follow suit with a similar investment size. According to reports, the goal is to make EVs as reliable, if not more, than traditional vehicles. As the world shifts towards EVs, there is an increasing demand for professional skills in various aspects of EV technology. This includes designing and manufacturing electric vehicles, producing EV batteries, and developing and maintaining charging stations and networks. However, the current workforce is not fully equipped to meet these demands. The traditional automotive industry has focused on internal combustion engines for over a century, leaving a limited pool of professionals with expertise in EV technology. Additionally, the rapid pace of technological advancements in the EV industry requires continuous learning and upskilling, making it challenging for the workforce to keep up. The skills gap in the EV industry is a global issue. According to a report, the number of jobs in the EV industry is expected to grow significantly in the coming years. However, the report also highlights the need for targeted policies and programs to train and educate the workforce to meet the demands of the industry. Even in countries like Sweden, the UK, and Germany, where EVs are widely accepted, there's a shortage of skilled workers. The industry is simply moving faster than the job skills development programs in place. To put the magnitude of the problem into perspective, a global shortage of 4.3 million workers is predicted. This could potentially cost the industry a staggering $262.7 billion. In Europe alone, the ACEA estimates a gap of 700,000 skilled workers by 2030. Recognizing the urgency, the ACEA has urged the European Commission to develop a dedicated upskilling agenda for the automotive sector. This agenda should align with other initiatives such as the Pact for Skills and Net Zero Academies to ensure a smooth transition to EVs. Are electric vehicles truly the future for longer journeys, or do we need to rethink our approach? If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to receive notifications on our latest videos.